everyone, welcome to the channel. It's Rad, and I do apologize for the yesterday when the stream was actually scheduled. It turned out that I had to wake up very early in the morning, and as you may know, I'm doing the streams at 3 a.m. my time, so I can accommodate for yours, my friends from America. But of course it's a Mercury retrograde, and it's I had a phone call at around 9 a.m. And just to be told that the actual workers are gonna come at my place Monday. So it was all for nothing, but in any case, we're gonna have the live stream tonight, and it is what we need to know. One of my favorites. Or I should say my favorite stream. So the cards for it, which is collective what we need to know, I drew a few hours ago. You can kind of like examine was the word I was searching for. So you can examine them if you wish by yourself. At the thumbnail, they are there. The deck that I'm using is, I believe it's called Shadowscape Tarot. And the first card I drew for what we need to know, that is a Two of Wands. Okay, so Two of Wands. Followed by the second card here, which is the Seven of Cups. And this isn't a good thing, all right? Two of Wands, Seven of Cups, that's ultimately what falls down to. It is a lie, all right? So these two cards, that is when the Two of Wands, it is the primary card. So these two, and the third one, that will be Seven of Swords. Okay, so that is how the elemental dignity stands. So these are the three cards. So this is what most likely is going to happen, right? Think of the enterprise right now, which is going for you very well. That may be a job, that may be a relationship, some kind of a personal endeavor, all right? Something that it is going on for you very well, and you can barely say, you know, that there are problems currently present at this enterprise. And something shows up, most likely presented by a third-party individual, a promise for a future, only if you do abandon, right, that particular enterprise that it is going on for you very well. And that is going to be or rather like the presentation, the pitch, I should say, will be very enthralling. It's going to be very appealing. And what my father liked to say in those kind of a situation, it is that one is always from the devil, right? We were talking with him once about finding a job. I don't know where that topic came from. You know, I do have my thing. He's retired, but something came up in that regard. And what we were talking about is how, you know, it's a pretty arid at a particular time frame, and suddenly, you know, options are kind of like start showing up, and you do find one that it is really accustomed to you, and immediately as you do find it, something perfect shows up on the horizon, right? A different kind of like option available for job and whatnot, and that's from the devil, right? Because most likely this isn't something that is happening. It's way too good to be true, but because we are pretty hungry to devour something big as an opportunity, that is what trips us. Well, here what is going to trip us, or rather like what is going to be attempt from us to be tripped, is guilt and what is the other word? Collection, maybe. So that's you know, the presentation here, or the pitch for that alternative future, so to speak, will require you to be a part of it so it can work, and simultaneously it will involve the side that it is pitching it to you, and without you they won't be able to make that future going forward, and there is going to be a guilt trip. You know, that's, you know, you are going to be the reason why their life is going to be end up in ruin and whatnot, right? So first and foremost, you aren't responsible for anyone's fate. You know, everyone goes with their own fate. That's one thing I can tell you. The other trip, like I said, or the other trip, like I said, that is a collection trip, meaning they did you a favor before, and now they are asking for a favor right now, requiring from you to relinquish straight away what's going on for you very, very well, whether that's again a job or whether that's again a relationship, and go on a venture with that individual or with that organization, whatever the case. And again, yeah, I mean, you may have used the favor from them, but that doesn't mean that you have to give up your entire life for it. Okay, there needs to be some kind of reciprocity here. And the guidance of the cards and what you need to know, it is that you gotta be selfish. Okay, you gotta go for what works for you and kind of like keep on developing it. Because the last thing that we need to know here from these cards, it is that this enterprise that it is going on for us very well, or barely scratching the surface on it, there is so much more we can do in it, so much more to accomplish in it. Hello, Rob. News Devon, thank you for the £5. Thank you for the super chat. Yeah, so a few notes about the show. There are going to be 12 readings now, one for each star sign, and I'm going to start with Aries, running down the ecliptic, meaning ending up with Pisces. And bear in mind that these are going to be readings for your star signs, so the magnitude of kind of like their influence upon your life will vary. So very seldom they're going to happen to be straight away answers to whatever problems and questions you do have right now. But if you do wish your personal situations to be a subject of my tarot interpretation, you can go to my website, link of which you're going to find in the description down below. And there on the very front page, you can see full list of my services and as well their pricing. Now, other than that, if you do enjoy the show, you can support us via subscribing and liking the video. That's going to help us with the YouTube algorithm, also engaging with it. But if you really want to support us, you can do so using Super Chat or a PayPal. The PayPal link you're going to find in the description down below as well. And anyone who does so, who support the show financially, you guys are going to have a reading at the end of the stream. That's pretty much guaranteed. Just like Yasmin did. Yasmin, thank you for the 20 US dollars. And News Devon, thank you for the £5. Let me put you into the list. And at the end of the stream, like you guys know, girls rather should I say, you're going to have your personalized reading. So starting up first, this is going to be Aries. Now you can track which star sign I'm reading for by the glyph being displayed right here. Okay, and that is currently running Aries glyph. So let me shuffle. Eight of Cups. Three of Cups. The Tower. Oh, that's really good. It is a mitigation, right? It's a mitigation on this ongoing enterprise that I was talking about. Your personal reading for Aries is touching up a little bit the collective, okay? So that ongoing enterprise that I talked about, for the next few days, the development of it is going to be underwhelming in regards or compared to your own personal expectations. That doesn't mean that it's going to be a bad development, right? It could be a fantastic development. The problem is that you are going to expect more, okay? And that's why for you personally, it will happen to be an underwhelming development. However, that development, or rather like the negative impact of it, for as much as it's going to be there, it will be a significantly mitigated only if you do not panic and try to fix things which aren't broken, right? So you do have, for example, a business plan that it is working. It just isn't working as fast as you would like, but it is still working, and you try to fix it, no matter that it is that it is working again, that ain't broken, and you're gonna break it irreparably. So do not touch what is working. Okay, very important. And whether through kind of like statistics or analysis or simply, consulting with people which are involved, you are to be reassured that, yeah, I mean, in the next few days, you're going to have a rather slow development, but this will pick up afterwards. And can I put it into words? This promise is going to be based on facts, not on a celluloid promises. So that was for you, Aries. Now moving next, that will be Taurus. Five of Pentacles. Five of Pentacles. The Empress. The Emperor. Well, what you need to know is that next few days are going to be crucial for your a long-term sustenance. It is the best way how I can say it. What I mean is that within the next few days, you Taurus are going to come up with some kind of a plan, a strategy that will be found on very well-based choices and actions, and that will, can I put it into words, repair stuff. Okay, it's going to repair your relationship, for example. It's going to repair your business. It's going to repair your social interactions. But this fix, so to speak, comes from you. Okay, this isn't something you attract to the enterprise. This fix is going to be because you changed your approach. It is because you changed your source of resources. It's because you changed your attitude, or you have changed your performance. It's going to be something that will, it will be a decision that will relate to your lifestyle, so to speak, in regards to the enterprise. And through the change of this lifestyle, the cracks or the problems that are creating the cracks in it and undermining its stability will no longer be present, and thus you will strive toward a stable future. And what I mean that is a long-term future for you, Taurus. So don't be surprised if in the next few days you feel the need to withdraw. Just do it. Take a break, a vacation, whatever the case, because through that withdrawal, you're going to come up with that plan and with that strategy of the saving grace. All right, next, Gemini. The Empress. Eight of Wands. Ace of Cups. That is awesome. That is a awesome reading. How do I translate it? All right, so let's start with the result. Just give me a second here. Let's start with the result. You will see how things can work. That will be the result. So that is what you need to know. You may not be able to see how things are going to work right now, say for your career development or say for your love life. But by the end of the next few days, you will see how they can work. This isn't even giving it a justice. Okay, so there are many ways that things can work for you. But at this current stage, you know that some of these things are going to be failures. Okay, if you kind of like attempt them, you just don't know which of those things, which of those options available are going to be failures. Well, by the end of the next few days, you will have a pretty clear idea which options will not gonna work for you, and you are gonna be free to take those options that you can actually kind of like push through, all right, bring to the very end, if you will. And this development is about something recent. Now that Ace of Cups, the Ace of Cups does represent a thing we lost a hope into, whether you lost a hope that you are going to make money, whether you lost a hope that you're going to have a good job, whether you lost a hope that you're going to have friends, whether you lost a hope that you're going to be loved or you're going to fall in love, whatever the case. And that happened recently, okay? And you just don't want to screw it up, right? That's something that's, how can I put it into words? It's a wealth that you don't want to let go of, or you don't want to miss, or you don't want to kind of like screw around with, so to speak. And this is why it's that careful selection of options available, how to actually manifest it, cash it in, whatever the case. And within the next few days, it will be pretty clear how you can make it work. And it will be a damn shame if you don't, because that Ace of Cups with the Empress, this is it's a infinite well of happiness. So hopefully you ain't gonna approach the situation reckless. Now that is the one thing you can do to screw things around, to approach the situation from a reckless regard and kind of like exerting your passion into the choices you're gonna make. You will have to kind of like ask your emotions. Now emotions are different things from passions and from feelings, right? Let me tell you the difference here. You may love someone as much as you like, but that person may make you feel bad, right? So emotions and feelings, two different things. Acting upon your feelings, it's a bad thing, right? Acting upon your emotions, now that's a good thing. So hopefully you will be able to differentiate those two things. Bad Hat Death, thank you for the $5. Thank you. Let me put you into the list, and you're gonna have a reading at the end of the stream of what do you need to know for the next few days. B had that. Sorry, not bad. B. All right. B had that. All right. So for Gemini, it's a kind of like, well, you're gonna be walking on the edge of the knife. I hope you don't slip on the wrong side here, because that will be the wrong direction. Just follow your emotions. All right. You love something, you take it. Or you like something, you take it, okay? Or you kind of put it into words. You are happy about something, again, take it. Right, so that was Gemini. Moving next, Cancer. Three of Pentacles. The Emperor. Well, I can understand that. Knight of Pentacles. You're going to be cut some slack, right? You Cancer. And given a certain amount of freedom to kind of like structure your things the way that is going to happen to be comfortable and supportive to you. You may receive a freedom to structure your mortgage payments. You may receive a freedom how to reassign or rearrange your schedule. You may receive a lot of freedoms, and or rather like freedoms in many different ways. But all that is going to be with a very benign, I would rather say, intent from the entity, whether it's a person or whether it is an organization, which is granting you that freedom. And the reason why they will do so is because they want to see you thrive. All right, this is a support. You need to know that within the next few days, the actions which are going to be taken toward you are going to be so you can be supported through your development. Now, this freedom could be a bit harshly given through some kind of a criticism, or through some kind of a very serious conversations that you're going to have with these people, or through as well a cooperation. But nonetheless, that freedom will allow you to, how can I put it into words, to get a breather, for the lack of better expression here, and to attune the situation or to your liking better, so you can perform in it better. I'm sorry. You know, your spouse may give you the freedom to do so, your family, your elders, and so on and so forth. But this is going to be because they want to see you progress, okay? So that don't take it the wrong way, especially if that freedom is given through some kind of a criticism. All right, next, Leo. The Hierophant. Knight of Pentacles. Ace of Pentacles. You are going to be trusted. Well, what do you need to know, guys? Ultimately, it is that your name is going to start working for you. That is the biggest thing that you need to know for the next few days. Your name is going to open you on opportunities. Your is it a name? Yeah, your name. Your name is gonna open you a harmony as well. Will create harmony within the circles you are in, and your name is gonna give a promise for a future. Thus, don't be surprised if within the next few days you are offered some projects that are gonna happen to be quite lucrative for you, or you are approached by people that want to be harmonious with you. Hell, don't be surprised if an ex shows up on the horizon, because with the Knight of Pentacles and the Hierophant, that is a very, very, how can I put it into words, a, not prominent, but what is the word? It's very likely that to happen, because the Knight of Pentacles as an influence, it is like jumping into the old branches of love. You know what I mean? So someone from your past is gonna wake up from their slumber and realize, I trusted her, or I trusted him. So why don't we try again? You know, I could rely on that woman or on that guy. So why don't we try again? Whether you take them back or not, well, that's entirely up to you. But just so you know, your name is gonna be heard and respected in the next few days. Other than that, you should focus on the journey rather than the destination. What I mean is that, say you do have a task, you should focus on how to complete that task rather than what you're going to get at the end of it. All right, next, Libra. Virgo, I'm sorry. Not Libra, but Virgo. Three of Wands. Temperance. The Hangman. It's a pretty easy interpretation. It's time for something bigger. All right. It's time for a bigger deal, for a bigger client, asking for a raise, for more responsibilities to kind of like back up that raise, asking for a bigger position, for example, or going for a bigger job. It's time for something bigger, and you will have to claim it. All right. This isn't a thing that it is going to be presented to you on a silver platter. You will have to claim it, or you will have to make an announcement that you want to claim it. Now, if it comes to negotiations, okay, don't give an ultimatums. What I mean is that, for example, a negotiation for a raise, and you say to your boss, whether you make my salary that much or I am leaving, don't do that. Okay, just be more diplomatic, for a lack of better expression here. But it's definitely a time for you to set things in motion in order to lift the bar of your, not just only your expectations, but everybody else's expectations. Now, what these cards are saying is that you are already established your patterns and your foundations, and now it's time to use them as a trampoline and go for more. All right. Next, Libra. The Hierophant. Ten of Wands. The Moon. Within the next few days, things are gonna start disappearing. And other things, I mean, certain tasks at work are gonna be reassigned to someone else. Some people will stop calling you, for example, or seeking attention, or seeking out your help, and so on and so forth. So there are going to be those expected enterprises from you that are no longer going to be present, and this will make you feel very uncertain, right? It's going to make you feel very uncertain. Well, the reason why they're clearing themselves out, it is because something is cooking for you, and it's something good, and it's something that belongs to you. Okay? And let me give you an example. Now imagine you are a workaholic. Okay? You work 12 hours a day. Well, let's not get that extreme. Let's say 10 hours a day, 11 hours a day. You don't have time for anything else. You wake up in the morning, you take a shower, you have your breakfast, you go to work, you come back from work, you have your dinner, you go to bed, all right? That's your entire life now. And suddenly, some of the responsibilities you are kind of like pushing forward no longer need your attention. And so you end up having a lot of free time on your hand. and you start feeling uncertain about your job, why your boss is withdrawing, you know, those responsibilities. Now, the reason very simple, not because you suck, but because, like I said, they do not need your attention anymore. However, a person kind of like appears on the horizon that you are going to start liking. They're going to start liking you. You're going to start dating, and that was what was cooking for you, right? So that is just an example. And what you need to know is that you shan't fight those withdrawals, so to speak, right? These drop-offs from your platter, because your platter is going to be filled up again very, very quickly with something that belongs to you. You are destined to find it and to meet it and to experience it as well. Okay. Next, Scorpio. Four of Pentacles. The Wheel of Fortune. Five of Swords. What do you need to know, or what do we need to know as a Scorpio? Well, that's a tough message. My first instinct, I would say, to tell us, looking at those cards, it is to stop ourselves. But that is not exactly what these cards represent. This isn't about stopping. And I don't think I know the correct English word. Let me check it out. I want to represent that message correctly. Let me check it out. Because I don't think I know the correct English word to use here. Hold on a second. Consider, defer. I don't think that this gives it justice. Well, alright, so I'm gonna use the consider then, but I don't think that that's what should I use. No, I should use defer. Anyway, so we need to consider the other side. Okay, we just need to consider the other side. Now imagine this is about a business partnership, okay, and we have to stop ourselves kind of like pushing our own ideas, but rather we need to consider the other side, consider the ideas of the other side, okay? Because according to these cards, there is a big chance that we may overstep certain boundaries we shouldn't. Right, so for the next few days, it will be best if we don't push it. Other than that, what we need to know is that pretty much we are out of the woods in a sense of randomness, okay, whether within our business or whether within our love life. And from now, only thing we gotta do is kind of like weather things, all right, take on a precautionary measure, so to speak. The things are not jeopardized by silly mistakes or influences into the future. Other than that, like I said, we are out of the woods in terms of consolidation, in terms of sustenance, so to speak, and therefore it is almost certain that we had ensured thus far the security of our business, or the future of our business, or the future of our love life. Only, again, if we do not overstay our welcome, or we do not overstep our boundaries in one or another direction. That is very, very important. Okay, self-righteousness, it's a bad thing. Now, God forbid we betray a trust. Now, that is a certain way how things can pretty much be blown out of the water. Hello, Kiss. All right, so that was Scorpio, Sagittarius next. Queen of Cups. Mattia, thank you for the 20. Thank you, Mattia. Let me put you into the list. All right, so Queen of Cups. Then we do have the Star. And the third one, that will be Queen of Pentacles. Okay. So it's a pretty weird message. It's a pretty weird message. So for Sagittarius, there is a person that you need to know that their desire is to have more with you, or in other words, they see the situation in a such a way that there is a more potential in between you two. For example, you may be just friends, but they see a potential for you to be business partners, all right? Or you are just friends and they see potential for you and them to be lovers. Although lovers, it's a bit kind of like unlikely with those cards, because with that Queen of Cups being on the front and Queen of Pentacles, that is like a person who wishes to protect, right? A person who wishes to see you thrive, to see us thrive, because my moon is in Sagittarius, okay? That Star card there, though, it's kind of like sitting as an unjustified hope. I mean, they are hoping, you know, that is the potential in between you and them, but in the same time, they know that it's very unlikely to happen, or this is what they are imagining to be. And that Star being there, it kind of like makes them timid to approach you, to approach us with a proposition, or with a some kind of divulgement. Now, how are we gonna recognize that individual? Well, they are very discreet. What I mean is that whatever we speak with them, they ain't saying that thing to anyone else, and that is also our, how can I put it into words, our sensation toward them. This is an individual who is always there for us, or for you, Sagittarius, in a sense of that whatever you are going through, they have no problem listening you out, kind of like offering an opinion, and it's not a burden for them to kind of like you sharing your drama with them. And finally, that is someone who wishes to protect. Okay, whatever you are going through, they always kind of like offering a helping hand. So that is how you are going to recognize that individual. And what you need to know, it is that they do have an intention for something more. Anna, thank you for the $20 US. Mwah. Thank you, Anna. Let me put you into the list. Okay, next, Capricorn. Knight of Cups for Capricorn. Well, that's a good one. The Empress, even better. And the Eight of Wands. Now, when I told Pisces Moonbeam, because she's Capricorn, what these cards represent, the collective reading, she said, "Oh no, you know." But actually, my friend Capricorn, it's really good. It's really good. It's very similar to, I believe it was Virgo that we had. The promise for the future. So what do you need to know, Capricorns, is that within the next few days, the things are gonna turn out to be exactly how you wish them to be, all right? So whatever hope or whatever dream you have for one thing or another is gonna be there, okay? And that is thanks to you, by the way. That is something you need to know. It is that you do work hard for it, whether intentionally or unintentionally through your choices, behavior, and whatnot. But it does look like, again, that you have forced it to happen, right? And this is going to ensure a long-lasting future in between you and your spouse, in between you and your business partner, or in your business hobby, social circle, and whatnot. Now, the only thing you can do to kind of like screw things around is that Eight of Wands here, which is experimenting in that particular case. You know, things are going my way, so why don't I take that unnecessary risk? Wrong. You know, you take unnecessary risks, something you ain't certain you can push through, and the worst thing is going to happen there. I mean, in fact, is going to erase that wishful development. What I mean is that the development that you have wished to happen. And also, what you need to know is that it's not going to hurt you if you take a certain break. I know that Pisces Moonbeam is taking one now, so Pisces Moonbeam, or at least that is your last week, I believe, from break. And you have exactly a few days left from that break, so that break is gonna be very, very good for you, Pisces Moonbeam, the last few days of it. Okay, that was Capricorn. Next, we do have Aquarius. And by the way, back to Capricorn, if there is a person who is withdrawn from you, I mean, you had a very good relationship, whether a friend, whether a business partner, whether a lover. The reason for it is a deliberation what they're going to do with you in terms of a long-term future, because their intentions is to be a part of your future, or you to be part of their future. Because in that particular regard, whether love, whether business, whether friendship, you happen to be everything they have ever wanted thus far. And you doing some kind of risky, stupid shit is just gonna make them you know, not resentful, but kind of like apprehensive in terms of whether you are everything they have ever wanted. All right, Aquarius. Eight of Swords for Aquarius. The Star. Now that is very conflicting with my Scorpio because I'm rising Aquarius. So Pisces Moonbeam should tell me which one should I follow, because the Scorpio reading told me that I need to kind of like hold on my horses for a little while, you know. While Aquarius reading, it is entirely different. Now, what we Aquariuses need to know is that we are holding ourselves back through self-imposed limits, whether there is something we want to speak and we think that, or something we want to say and we think that it is inappropriate, self-imposed limit. Whether something we want to do but we think that, again, it's an appropriate, self-imposed limit. Criterias, self-imposed limits. Concepts, self-imposed limits, and so on and so forth. And what we need to know is that if we do look outside of those self-imposed limits, meaning we say what we think and we do what we think is right for us, now this is going to not only resolve huge issues in our lives, but also is gonna meet our ideals and our standards, meaning that if that is within our love life, the love we are going to experience will be exactly according to the idea we have. Same thing about business, same thing about friendship. And the thing we need to understand, it is that we can't make everyone's happy. Okay, we just can't. So why don't we do ourselves happy just for a change first? Okay, why don't we do ourselves happy first for a change, and then you know, give the rest for the rest. Well, I don't know why I'm asking Pisces Moonbeam. By a few hours, I will already be, those readings are going to be forgotten by my brain. So, and I will do as I please, okay, as I see fit in any given situation. All right, last but not least, Pisces. Ten of Pentacles. Nine of Wands. Nine of Wands. Knight of Cups. It's hard work. Uh, can I put it into words? Well, what do you need to know, guys? It is that through a hard work, you can get out of some kind of dependencies and make your life severely more comfortable than before. For example, you can go out of dependency from a person or from a loan or from, God forbid, some kind of a substance, for example, alcohol, drugs, and so on and so forth. And you can make your life much more independent and much more comfortable than before this reading. But again, it's gonna take really, really hard work here. And the other thing is that someone from the past may try to connect with you as well, realizing that they actually want you, whether for business or whether for love. And again, whether you take them or not, it's entirely up to you. But one thing you need to know here is that you can't change the circumstances, right? Circumstances are asset and you have to work with them the way you see fit, rather than try to kind of like change them so you can make your situation more comfortable, right? That is the how can I put it into words, the subtlety of your situation currently. And yeah, it's time, not exactly time, but yeah, it's time to settle for something. Okay, that is what you need to know. It's time to settle for something and make it yours only, with no other influences whatsoever. All right, so that was for the 12th. And now the super chat. Um, all right, Yasmin goes first. All right, Yasmin, those are your cards here, those three. And there will be a delay in some kind of a travel, whether a planned one or something that needs to happen on a short notice, but there is going to be a delay there. The delay will be caused by an unpleasant circumstances, some kind of a trouble mixing into the booking, and whatever not. Okay. And it's not gonna be felt pleasant, but this delay will actually allow you to make a better setup, for lack of better expression here, a better setup. So through that setup, you actually have everything, every loose end tied up very, very well. And another thing that you do need to know, it is that yeah, it's gonna suck, right? And at that point, it will feel like, I don't know, nothing is going on the way it's supposed to. But actually, this travel, no matter how important you think it is not that important at all for the development of your future. Whether that's a business travel, personal travel, whatnot. Okay. So that is what you need to know. Next, Mattia. All right, Mattia, those are your cards. Now, a friend will deliver a piece of business to you. And whether that is because it's a very dear friend of yours and you can't deny them, or whether it is a really good piece of business and you cannot say no, that piece of business is gonna wreck literally your to-go list, so to say. Okay, your plans, your setup, everything is gonna be wrecked by this deliverance of a business. And we're gonna have a bit of a guilt trip here. You know, that friend comes up and say, you know what, Mattia, please sell my, because I know that you're a real estate agent, sell my mansion. All right, sell my mansion. You are the only person I trust and you're the only person I know can do it, and so on and so forth. But at that point you do have other things scheduled and you know that this is going to be a lot of work, and but you can't say no, so your other things which are scheduled, or that particular schedule, is gonna be wrecked. And you know, it's there are gonna be a lot of points where you are gonna ask yourself whether you make the right choice to take on that business or not. It's gonna be very difficult to deny. I don't know if you even can deny that. It's gonna be that person ain't asking, you know what I mean? They just ain't asking. And yeah, I mean, prepare yourself that. Other than that, he's gonna bring you a good chunk of money. Okay, so you will have to juggle with it. All right, next, Anna. Hello, Jen. Well, yeah, it's also a rescheduled life, so that's understandable. Oh, you already know? Oh, I don't think that this is what we have discussed before. All right, Anna, those are the cards. Well, it does look like that it's gonna worth it. Okay, it does look like, if not about the money, it's gonna be about the name. That's for certain. Closing up that deal is gonna bring you a lot of new deals. All right, Anna, you also are gonna deal with a friend, and first thing that you are gonna have, it's a phone call, and the thing it is that what's going to be discussed is money, a lot of money, and that is you earning money. Okay, so again, I probably a rich friend of yours, whether wants you to work for them or whether have some kind of a scheme, you know, I cannot say. But what we do have here, and I do believe that that's something, now that I'm looking at the tarot cards here in front of me, that is something that was talked about before. I can't really say planned, but talked about before. Probably also either of you had prepared a bit for it. And now that plan, this preparation is ready to be set in motion. Okay, it's also possible for some kind of joint business, but it's less likely than just, you know, that friend having some money to burn and they can burn them on you or on your business, you know, or on you in general. And this, what you have told before, okay, about, you know, that development, you didn't believe that that actually can take place, well, it is taking place now. So, girl, I hope you're ready. See you soon, Mattia. All right, next, News Devon. You're welcome, Anna. What do you need to know, News Devon? Those are the two cards. Is that you can exert your influence to ask for, or not exactly to ask, straight away to take, right? To take a huge chunk. What these cards are speaking about, it is that you can dictate the terms through which you can exert or manifest a huge leap into development. In other words, you can dictate the rules in order to take the job or in order to start dating the person, okay? You have the trumps at that point. So use them wisely, I would rather say here. Okay, so that is what you need to know for the next few days. You are in a much higher position probably than you realize. And next few days are the days where you should strive to satiate whatever yearnings you do have, whether about money, sex, love, friendships, and so on and so forth, because you will be unstoppable in that regard. Good night, Mattia. And last but not least, Bean had that. Let's see, what do you need to know? Okay, that's your card. Queen of Pentacles. Well, being it's very close to the Scorpio reading, the Queen of Pentacles by herself. Queen of Pentacles, it is when you have, or rather, like I would say it that way, you are on the cusp of being able to handle things. Not because you can't, not because you are a poor performer, so to speak, but because they are becoming a bit too many. And instead of piling up, say, friends, instead of piling up, say, suitors, instead of piling up, say, clients, instead of piling up, say, opportunities, for the next few days, it will be good to dive into some of them and try to develop their maximum potential. Okay, so just make a choice for about a couple of things, maybe 3 things that you want to you see, say, worth your while, and just focus on them and develop them. Because at that point, according to the Queen of Pentacles, you are having results, but these results are just scratching. They're just the tip of the iceberg, because you aren't giving yourself enough time to reach to the very bottom of it. Okay, so that is what you need to know. All right, guys, that's gonna do it for tonight. Thanks so much for watching. Thanks so much for your generosity, and hopefully we're going to see each other next time, which hopefully is going to be Sunday. Until then, bye.